How do you use your Instant Pot? That seems like the $1,000,000 question, right? Well, I've got the answer for you. Stick with me and I will let you know how it works and how to use it. Should I say we're cooking up some knowledge? What is up, you guys? It is Carly here, and you are officially cooking with Carly, and today we are cooking up a whole lot of knowledge. First and foremost, we need to establish what this thing is. This is a pressure cooker, so this is not like your slow cooker. It's not like your rice cooker. This is something completely different that you've probably never used before, unless you've used one on the stovetop like way back in the day. There are different sizes of Instant Pots that you can purchase. This right here is the 6-quart Duo, and this is the 3-quart Duo. There are different models and different sizes. There's the Luxe, which is the level below the Duo, and there's also the Ultra, which is a level above the Duo. They all pressure cook the same. They just have a few different functions. If you're wanting a yogurt button though, make sure you get the Duo or higher. The Luxe options do not have a yogurt button. The only thing different about these two are the sizes. So obviously you can cook less food in this one, but the cook times stay the same. You can use the same recipes. You may have to cut it in half. But the only difference between these two are the sizes. First things first, let's learn how your Instant Pot works. Understanding how it works will benefit the results you get from cooking with your Instant Pot. So your Instant Pot cooks using pressure. It is pressurized. So all of the ingredients that you're putting inside of the pot, it's going to start to heat and boil, and then it will create steam. And then the lid actually seals onto the pot, and the inside of the pot is pressurized. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed if you're not. Hit the notification bell so you are made aware of every time I publish a new video. Comment down below and let me know what additional questions you have about your Instant Pot. I'm curious, and I'd also love to answer those questions for you. Learning the basic parts of the Instant Pot is also very helpful for knowing how to use it to cook food and also for reading recipes. So as we take off the lid here, we can see that there is this silicone ring inside, and this is removable. This is what it looks like, and you can buy replacement silicone rings, so you can switch them out or use one for spicy food and one for dessert type foods so that flavors don't cross-contaminate. And this is what will seal the lid to the liner of your pot. Without this, your Instant Pot will not work. And we've got our lid here and this little knob in the back, and yep, it's supposed to be that wiggly. Yours isn't weird. And then right next to the vent, we have this pin. Sometimes the pin starts flat and will raise above the level of the plastic here. Depends on the model you have, but that is the indicator that it has come to pressure when this pin pops up like that. And then we have what's called the liner, or sometimes referred to as the inner pot. This is removable, so you can clean it. You can actually toss it in the dishwasher. It's handy to be able to take over to the stove to fill up with water or measurements, take it into your pantry to put your rice in there, things like that. But make sure you put it back in to your Instant Pot before putting other food in there. That is very important. Don't put other food in there without the inner pot. And then we have our display here with all of the buttons. I get asked all the time, why do no recipes use these buttons here? Why do we not use the meat and stew button? Why do we not use the poultry button? It's because all these buttons are pre-timed buttons. They just automatically go to a certain number, and then you can adjust from there. So hitting poultry and then adjusting to 30 minutes is the exact same as clicking manual or pressure cook, depending on which button your Instant Pot has, and then adjusting to that 30 minutes. It will cook the exact same. And because not all Instant Pots or even other brands that sell electric pressure cookers have these pre-programmed times, I and other people who write recipes for the Instant Pot generally just stick to that manual button or the pressure cook button, depending on which one your model has. I have other videos actually that explain some pretty cool things you can do with the saute, keep warm, and yogurt buttons that I think will blow your mind. So make sure you check those out. Are you gonna put them over there? This little plastic piece is called the condensation collector, and it actually just goes onto the back of your Instant Pot. That is just meant to catch any condensation that occurs while it's coming to pressure or you're releasing the pressure. It will catch right here. Just make sure to watch it regularly, and if any liquid gets in there, clean it out. And lastly, that just hit me in the face. We have the cord. The cord can be removed, obviously. Just plugs into the back here. If your Instant Pot ever won't turn on and you're thinking, oh, my Instant Pot died, just push this in. That's generally the culprit. Another thing that is super important in order to be successful when using your Instant Pot is to use well-tested recipes. You can find a lot of well-tested recipes on my website, cookingwithcarly.com, that are catered just for the Instant Pot. It's important to use well-tested recipes because there actually has to be a certain amount of liquid, like a good ratio of liquid to other types of food inside of your Instant Pot in order for food to cook correctly and for your Instant Pot to be able to come to pressure. If there's not enough liquid in there, it either will not come to pressure and your food won't cook, or you'll get the burn notice, which basically just turns your Instant Pot off and it won't work if there's not enough liquid. So while you're getting used to cooking with your Instant Pot, make sure to use recipes and follow them exactly so you are guaranteed success. Once this lid is sealed, there is no taking the lid off and checking it until the cook cycle is done, until you've pressed cancel and released the pressure. There can't be any pressure in there. There is a safety feature so the lid locks on. It locks in place. You cannot open it while it's under pressure, so you can't check on things. And this is another reason why using recipes that are tested is so important. Trying to just adjust your own recipe that you've been using for a long time can sometimes work, but the cook times and liquid to other ingredient ratios need to be spot on. I think the best way for me to explain how to use your Instant Pot is for me to go through a simple recipe on exactly what you do and what is happening in the Instant Pot so that you can understand how it works and what you should do. I'm going to use the example of just a simple pasta dish, my Alfredo recipe. To make this Alfredo dish, all we need to do is place the ingredients into the Instant Pot. Make sure you are following the directions exactly, putting all of the ingredients in the order that they tell you to, because with the Instant Pot, the order actually matters and you're layering your different ingredients. For this recipe, the Alfredo, we're going to put some chicken broth in, heavy cream, garlic, salt, pepper, and our pasta. We just dump it into the Instant Pot. Then we will close the lid. Make sure this knob on top is pointing over to ceiling. We're going to set the timer. We set the timer by pressing manual or pressure cook, if that's what button you have on your display, and using the plus and minus buttons to adjust the cook time. This recipe calls for 6-minute cook time, so we are going to adjust it to 6 minutes. Now we do nothing. There is a warm-up period, a cook time period, and then a pressure release period. We are now in the warm-up period. This is where everything inside of the Instant Pot is starting to warm up, starting to boil, starting to heat through. Once it's boiling and it's created enough steam that this pin pops up, it indicates that the pot is under pressure. Your display will read on until the inside of the pot is at the correct pressure. Once the inside of the pot has reached the correct pressure, your display will flip and start counting down. So it will start at 6 and start counting down. We are now in the cooking phase. All of the food in your pot is now cooking under pressure. It's important to note here though that your food is also cooking in the warm-up phase. While everything is boiling and heating up, your food is starting to cook here. But once that timer starts going down, it is now pressure cooking. When the display reads 0 and your Instant Pot beeps, then the cooking phase is over. Now we're in the pressure release phase. The recipe you're following will tell you either to quick release the pressure or natural release the pressure. To quick release the pressure, all you need to do once your timer is at 0 and your Instant Pot is beep is to move this knob from sealing to vent. And when you do that, a lot of steam is going to shoot up from the top of your Instant Pot right here. All of that steam coming out of the top is the pressure inside of your pot being released. For this particular recipe that we're hypothetically making here, actually calls for a 6-minute natural pressure release, sometimes called an NPR. All you have to do is, well, nothing. You just let the pot sit and naturally come back to pressure on its own for the designated time. After it beeps and it says 0 on here, I'm just going to wait an additional 6 minutes. If you have the Instant Pot brand of pressure cooker, your timer will actually count up. So once it reaches 6 again, you'll know that your natural pressure release phase is finished and you can go ahead and quick release. Some recipes call for a full natural pressure release, and that means you're going to let the pot sit and wait until that pin drops. It can take up to 45 minutes sometimes. Sometimes it only takes, 10. It just depends on what's in your Instant Pot. But that's what a full natural pressure release is. After your food is cooked, definitely enjoy the meal that you've made, and then it's time to clean and store your Instant Pot. The parts you need to clean every time is this lid. You can take your sealing ring out. Your lid, your sealing ring, and the center pot can all be tossed in the dishwasher. I just make sure to take my knob off because you don't want to lose that. Take this apart, toss both of these things into my dishwasher, clean the inner liner, get all of the extra food out, and then toss that in the dishwasher also. Once everything is cleaned, it's time to store your Instant Pot until next time. And this is how I always store mine. I replace this sealing ring. I take my knob, put it on top, and store it upside down like this. It's important to store it upside down and not locked because the sealing ring tends to take on the scent of whatever flavor you have cooked with last. I hope this video has given you some insight as to how this Instant Pot works, maybe even inspired you to take yours out of the box and get going on your first recipe. Please let me know if you have any other questions. I would love to help you out.